Because there are some people that cannot afford to go to university, even if the university is free. These people need to earn money to buy food. They may have to earn money to have a house. Maybe they are married and have children. They cannot afford to simply go to university. With the apprenticeship program, a company pays them to work for them, and the state pays for their education. And so after a number of years, they too have the education they need to go forward. Mentorships are another type of education. The taking of the expert and pairing them with the beginner. And finally, there is self-learning. Being able to look at the information that's out there and being able to teach yourself how to do this. But what's missing from self-learning or mentorships or even the Guild program is the certification that says you know what you know. Because in a university, there's two aspects. There's the teaching, and then there's the certification. And the certification is recognized by the diploma that you get from the university. What gives that diploma any value? It is the faith of the people who look at that diploma and say, yes, I believe that the university did a good job. If the university did not do a good job consistently, then people would lose faith in that university and your diploma would be absolutely worthless. It's just like, how do we have faith in money? Paper money. It is the faith that the paper money has value. If we lost that faith, it would be worthless. Now, why is it important for you to develop this type of training in Brazil? It's because you need to create local jobs. People who have local jobs buy local food, local housing, and pay local taxes. If you take your money and you send it to the United States to pay for proprietary software, that money goes out of Brazil forever. Only if Mr. Gates or maybe Mr. Larry Ellison of Oracle wants to buy some type of meat from Brazil or some cachaça. And believe me, there's only so much cachaça that Bill Gates is going to drink. Steve Ballmer will probably drink a lot more cachaça. But that's money that goes outside of your economy. And it's no longer in Brazil giving other people jobs. And most economists will say that for every dollar that leaves Brazil, it's like $10 staying inside. It also affects you in the fact that when students graduate from your universities, a lot of them want to go to the United States or to Europe because they say, this is where we can get good jobs programming significant software. This is crazy. You're training your students to make money in the United States. You need to develop that infrastructure here in Brazil. And the way you do that is with free software. Because with free software, you can utilize the programming talents all over the world to create products and services here in Brazil. You can create the challenge of programming on significantly complex and interesting software here in Brazil. And what that does is create a pool of expert programmers here in Brazil that then attract industry to come to Brazil. Because without the trained workforce, they will not come. It allows you to change the software in your own economic model. Because you can pay somebody in your economic pay scale rather than have to pay somebody in the United States. It's good for the security of your country. Mr. Stallman last night talked about trapdoors and things in the software that spy on you. But with free and open source software, you can look at that and you can make sure that the software that goes into your planes, your missiles, your ships, is free of that. You can make sure that in times of war or embargo, that you have control over the software that runs your country. And you can have a longevity to your software that means that you will have your country running long after some company has gone bankrupt. And if you say to me, this is why we get our software from Microsoft, because we know they will not go bankrupt, then I will talk to you about companies like Apollo, or Wang, or Digital Equipment Corporation, or Compaq, or Nortel, who at one time were the second largest computer companies on the face of the earth, and they are now bankrupt, gone, along with their products. No company is too big to fail. So now we go to what we should be teaching or not teaching. We should be teaching networking standards and implementation of the network, not Cisco networking. We should be teaching how to select and use Office products in your business, not Microsoft Office. We should be teaching databases and data structures and how to access information, not Oracle database. And we should be teaching telephony, not Nortel communications. So how can free culture and free software help? Free culture is freedom culture, not gratis culture. It's cultura libre. It's free and open source software. It's free and open standards and the development of those standards, with Brazil acting as a leader. It's Creative Commons, the ability to freely trade and improve the things that I have created in art. And it's free and open hardware to be designed and supported by anybody. Sir Isaac Newton said in February of 1676, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants," and free software allows that. So software libre is free as in freedom, not free as in beer. And we went over the 4 freedoms last night, but the greatest freedom in my mind is the freedom to change the source code and make it fit your needs. And the one freedom that Richard Stallman does not allow is the freedom to limit other people's freedoms. Today, children start learning computers at a very early age. Some of them are learning computer games before they can read. The One Laptop Per Child project was giving computers to children of age 7. And many of them are surfing the internet at grade 1. This is the time to start teaching children about internet freedom. The Linux Terminal Server project, if you have not heard about it, is a wonderful thing for schools. You start off with a highly available server to store all the data and all the programs that the students use. And then you put thin, diskless computer systems on their desktops. This is extremely easy to administer. In the Atlanta public school system, they had 4,400 students, 2,200 thin clients, in 233 classrooms, using 31 servers, but only 4 systems